Hi, I'm Colette with Rich Girls Inc., making your life richer in health, wealth, relationships, and happiness through inspiration, enlightenment, and love. Today I just want to talk to you a little bit about something that happened to me when I was about 4 years old. And something that I haven't really told very many people around me. So, it's not that it's a secret, it's just that it's not something that I bring up in conversation. But I wanted to share it with you, just in case, it helps you. Maybe my story can help you. So that's kind of my goal with this. But anyway, so what happened was when I was about 4 years old, my mom got married 4 times. The first time was to my dad, and they were married for 6 months. And then she got remarried to a terrible, awful, horrible man when I was about 4. And this man had so many problems. He abused my mother, he sexually molested me, and he threatened us. He was just a very scary, scary person. So, he molested me, and so did one of his family members. And it's funny because for a long time I didn't really think that affected me. And I didn't tell anyone because my mom needed me. In my heart, I felt that it was my job to protect my mother and that I needed to be with her, even though she had a lot of issues of her own. And that's why I think I felt like I needed to be with her to help her and protect her. And because in my little head, I didn't think she was capable of making good decisions based on my experiences. And my mom was always, she always kind of played the victim. I don't want to say she played the victim. She felt that she was a victim, which manifested in reality. So I didn't want to get taken away from her, and I had actually been taken away from her by Child Protective Services for a couple days when I was really little as well. And I didn't want that to happen, and I knew that if I told anybody what happened, or I thought anyway, maybe I was wrong, but I thought I would get taken away from her for good. And I didn't want that to happen, so I just didn't tell anybody. And then when I did finally tell my mom, when I was older, when I was probably around 10 or 11, I told my mom what happened, and she didn't believe me. So, I always just, thought, okay, that's something that happened to me. I knew it wasn't my fault. I feel like sometimes when I read things, the victims feel like it's something that they did. And I never felt like that. I never felt like it was something that I did to deserve it. I knew that it was him and that there was something wrong with him that wasn't normal. And so luckily, that was never an issue for me or a challenge for me. But I did think that it wasn't a big deal. And I mean, I kind of just was like, okay, well, stuff happens, people go through stuff, whatever. And then I started meditating when I was about 28 years old. I started doing this binaural beats meditation program. And as I was going through it, all of these feelings and all of these issues started coming up around it. And I got so hurt and mad at my mother and just confused, and I didn't understand why I had a mom who didn't protect me and why she wasn't there like to me, like a normal mom would be there for their child and who would protect them and who would make sure that they weren't in these situations. And as a side note, I do have to say, if you are a single mom and you have kids, be so careful who you leave them with. I think the statistics for sexual molestation and abuse are something like 1 in 3 girls or something crazy. And so it's just like we need to protect our children. We need to protect our little girls. And there are signs. I never wanted to be alone with my stepfather or the other person that molested me. I, if your kids don't want to be around somebody, don't force them to be around that person. There's a reason. You need to believe your kids and trust your kids' judgments. I know people think like, oh, the kid made something up. Like, kids don't make that stuff up. If your kid is telling you that something happened, it probably happened. There's no reason for a child to make something like that up. And if they are making it up because they really don't want to be around that person that badly, then don't make them be around that person. That's just kind of my side note. Just protect your children as much as you can. And I know, I'm sure, as a mom, like, you try, and that's awesome. But it's just so weird to me that they'll have a boyfriend and they'll think it's fine to leave their kids with this boyfriend that they've known a few months. Like, these are your kids. Just don't, I don't know, it's maybe it's my trust issues from being molested, but it's just like, I don't think I would ever leave my kids with a strange man that I haven't known for years. And even then, I'd be very careful. So, yeah, ladies, trust your children. Trust them if they say they don't want to be around somebody. And if they tell you something happened, believe them. Anyway, so all this stuff came up, and I just got mad at my mom, and I had to talk with her about it, and she felt really bad, and I felt bad bringing it up, but it was something that I had to deal with and find out, why did she do that? And it's just, she was so young. She was only 25 at the time, about 25, 26 when I was that age. She had me when she was 22. And she was just so young, and she had so many issues and challenges of her own that she just didn't think. She didn't know. And so I just, we got in some arguments. And I guess arguments aren't the right word, but my mom's very emotional anyway. So we had some very emotional talks. But I was able to work out my feelings and let a lot of stuff go. And that's the thing, if stuff happened to you, you need to deal with that. And there's lots of ways to do it. You can hire a therapist. You can do a lot of meditation and cleansing and clearing techniques and energy clearings and things like that to let it go. But you have to deal with it. You have to feel those emotions, and they're painful. And I think that's why a lot of people stop meditating, because all these emotions and feelings come up that you weren't prepared to deal with. I had a breakdown on a bus in Costa Rica because I'd been meditating. I had started this meditation program a few weeks before, and I was doing it every night for a half an hour. I would listen to this binaural beat meditation, and it felt like it was out of nowhere. I just started crying. Like, how could she do this to me? So that's one of those things that you kind of deal with when you start letting stuff go, because to let stuff go, you have to feel those feelings again, and it's painful, but it's so worth it. So no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just holding on and bottling up all these feelings and all this hurt and all these emotions, whether you've started to release it and started to talk about it and started to let it go, or maybe you're where I am, where I've gotten past it. There probably is still some emotions inside of me about it, but I've let a lot of it go, and so that's what I'm hoping that you do, because it's just so worth it to be happy. I've gotten through a lot of issues and dealt with a lot of stuff, and I've just worked on it for a really long time, and I'm finally in a place where I feel valuable and happy and joyful, and that's possible for you. So I hope that's how you feel. I hope you have been able to move past all these things that have happened to you. But if not, there are things you can do, and there is hope, and there is a way to feel wonderful and happy and positive and joyful every single day, and not have to feel hurt and betrayed and angry. Even if you don't let yourself feel those things, if you're not happy and joyful, they're inside of you. They're blocks that you need to let go of. So sorry this video got a little bit longer than I had planned on letting it, but I hope this helps you. I don't know if this was helpful or not. Please leave a comment below and let me know if there's any way I can help you, if there's any challenges that you're facing, if you have any questions about anything. I'd love to help you, and also please, join our Rich Girls Inc. page, and we can get we share tips and ideas and inspiration and just all kinds of fun stuff for making your life richer. So I hope today is the day that you declare, I am a rich girl, and own it, and claim your joy and claim your happiness. And I hope to connect with you soon. And if you like this video, please subscribe, and I will talk to you later.